In the earlier topics, we have discussed the concept of rational agents as central to our approach to artificial intelligence. In this section, we make this notion more concrete. We will see that concept of rationality can be applied to a wide variety of agents operating in any imaginable environment. We begin by examining agents, environments, and the coupling between them. The observation that some agents behave better than others leads naturally to the idea of rational agent, one that behave as well as possible. How well an agent can behave depends on the nature of the environment. Some environments are more difficult than others. We give a crude categorization of environment and show how properties of an environment influence the design of suitable agents for that environment. We describe the number of basic skeleton agent designs which we flesh out in the rest of lectures. What is environment? An agent is anything that can be viewed as perceiving its environment through sensors and acting upon the environment through actuators. This simple idea is illustrated. A human agent has eyes, ears, and other organs for sensors, and hands, legs, vocal tract, and so on for actuators. In this section, we will discuss goal-based agent and uh, what are the goal-based agent and how we can use in search formulation and how we can formulate an agent based on search. We have discussed reflex agents. Reflex agents are of simplest of its kind. Reflex agents use a mapping from state to actions. On the other hand, goal-based agents are those agents, those are problem-solving agents or planning agents. Goal-based agents that use more advanced factored or structured representation are usually called planning agents. On the other hand, goal-based agents use an atomic representation. Each state of the word is indivisible. As you can see in this diagram, it has no internal structure. All the blocks in this atomic representation have no internal structure. Consider the problem of finding a driving route from one end of a country to the other via some sequence of cities. In this problem, all cities are behaving like a box and there is no internal structure of that box. In this way, we can model this problem on the basis of goal-based agents. In this section, we are going to discuss problem-solving agent. Problem-solving agent use atomic representation, that is state of the word are considered as whole with no internal structure visible to the problem solving algorithms. Goal-based agents that use more advanced factored or structured representation are usually called planning agents. Our discussion of problem-solving agents begin with precise definition of problems and their solutions. and give several examples to illustrate these definitions. We will discuss general purpose search algorithms that can be used to solve these problems. We will discuss several uninformed search algorithms, algorithms that are given no information about the problem other than its definition, are called uninformed search algorithms. Some of these algorithms can solve any solvable problems. None of them can do so efficiently. On the other hand, informed search algorithms can do quite well, given some guidance on where to look for solution. So we have two type of algorithms. One is called uninformed search algorithm and other is called informed search algorithms. In uninformed search algorithms, we define the problem and we don't give any details about the solution. But on the other hand, in informed search algorithm, we provide some guidance where to look. Intelligent agents are supposed to maximize their performance measure, as we have discussed. This sometimes simplified if the agent can adopt a goal and aim at satisfying it. Imagine an agent in the city of Arad, Romania, enjoying a touring holiday. The agent's performance measure contain many factors. It wants to improve its suntan, improve its Romanian, take in the sights, enjoy the nightlife, avoid hangovers, and so on. The decision problem is a complex one involving many trade-offs and careful reading of guidebooks. Now suppose the agent has a non-refundable ticket to fly out of Bucharest the following day. In that case, it makes sense of the agent to adopt the goal of getting to Bucharest. Course of action that don't reach Bucharest on time can be rejected without further consideration, and agent's decision problem is greatly simplified. Goals help organize behavior by limiting the objectives that the agent is trying to achieve and hence the actions it needs to consider. Agents that work towards a goal are called goal-based agents. Agents consider the impact of action on future states. Agent's job is to identify the action or series of action that lead to the goal, formalized as a search through possible solution. As we have discussed in the discussed earlier of a touring problem to reach Bucharest. Problem solving as such. We can solve problems on search model. It's easy to model any problem on search based. In this method, we define the problem through goal formulation and problem formulation. Goal formulation based on the current situation and the agent's performance measure is the first step in the problem solving. We will consider a goal to be a set of word states exactly those states in which the goal is satisfied. The agent's task is to find out how to act and in the future so that it reaches a goal state. Before it can do this, it needs to decide, or we need to decide on its behalf, what sorts of action and states it should consider. If it were to consider actions at the level of move the left foot forward and an inch, or turn the steering wheel on 1 degree left, the agent would probably never find its way out of the parking lot, let alone to Bucharest, because at that level of detail there is too much uncertainty in the world and there would be too many steps in a solution. Number two, B part in defining the problem through is problem formulation. Problem formulation is the process of deciding what action and state to consider given a goal. We discuss this process in more detail later. For now, let us assume that agent will consider action at the level of driving from one major town to another. Each state therefore considered to be a particular town. Our agent has now adopted the goal of driving to Bucharest and is considering where to go from Arad. Three roads lead out of Arad, one towards Sibiu, one to Timisoara, and one to go from Arad to Zerent. None of these achieves the goal. So unless the agent is familiar with the geography of Romania, it will not know which road to follow. In other words, three roads lead out of Arad, one towards Sibiu, one Timisoara, and one to Zerent. None of these achieve the goal, so unless the agent is familiar with the geography of Romania, it will not know which road to follow. In other words, the agent will not know which of its possible action is best, because it does not yet know enough about the state that result from taking each action. If the agent has no additional information, that is, if the environment is unknown in the sense defined, that is, then it has no choice but to try one of the actions at random. But suppose the agent has a map of Romania. The point of a map is to provide the agent with information about the states it might get itself into and the actions it can take. The agent can use this information to consider subsequent stages of a hypothetical journey via each of the three towns, trying to find a journey that eventually gets to Bucharest. Once it has found a path on the map from Arad to Bucharest, it can achieve its goal by carrying out driving action that correspond to the legs of the journey. In general, an agent with several immediate options of unknown value can decide what to do by first examining future action that eventually lead to a state of known value. To be more specific about what we mean by examining future actions, we have to be more specific about properties of the environment. For now, we assume that the environment is observable, so the agent always knows the current state. For the agent driving in Romania, it is reasonable to suppose that each city on the map has a sign indicating its presence to arriving drivers. We also assume the environment is discrete. So at any given state, there are only finitely many actions to choose from. This is true for navigating in Romania because each city is connected to a small number of other cities. We will assume the environment is known so the agent knows which states are reached by each action. Finally, we assume that environment is deterministic, so each action has exactly one outcome. Under ideal condition that is true for the agent in Romania, it means that if it chooses to drive from Arad to Cebu, it does end up in Cebu. Of course, conditions are not always ideal. Under these assumptions, the solution to any problem is a fixed sequence of actions. Of course, one might say we else could be done. Well, in general, it could be a branching strategy that recommends different action in the future depending on what percept arise. For example, under less than ideal conditions, the agent might plan to drive from Arad to Cebu and then to Remisu, Wiltshire, but may also need to have a contingency plan in case it arrives by accident in Zrent instead of Cebu. Fortunately, if the agent knows the initial state and the environment is known and deterministic, it knows exactly where it will be after the first action and what it will perceive. Since only one percept is possible after the first action, the solution can specify only one possible second action, and so on. Now discuss how it will search the goal state. The process of looking for a sequence of action that reaches the goal is called search. So in this problem, the agent will start from Arad and the agent has to reach Bucharest in time. The searching of route from Arad to Bucharest is called search. A search algorithm takes a problem as input and returns a solution in the form of action sequence. Once a solution is found, the action it recommends can be carried out. So, uh, first of all, we need a solution to execute. In solving the problem as a two-stage process in problem solving as such, first is such mental or offline exploration of several possibilities. First, we need a solution. After we have found the solution, then the found solution will be executed and agent will reach at the destination. After planning a search strategy and we have a solution, then there is execution phase. Once a solution is found, the action it recommends can be carried out. This is called the execution phase. Thus, we have a simple formulate, search, execute design for the agent. After formulating a goal and a problem to solve, the agent calls a search procedure to solve it. It then uses the solution to guide its actions, doing whatever the solution recommends as the next thing to do. Typically, the first action of the sequence and the removing that step from the sequence. Once the solution has been executed, the agent will formulate a new goal. Notice that while the agent is executing the solution sequence, it ignores its percepts. When choosing an action because it knows in advance what they will be, an agent that carries out its plan with its eyes closed, so to speak, must be quite certain of what is going on. Control theories call this an open loop system because ignoring the percepts breaks the loop between agent and environment. We first describe the process of problem formulation and then devote the bulk of this section to various algorithms for the search function. A problem can be defined formally by 5 components. First is initial state. The initial state that the agent starts in, for example, the initial state for our agent in Romania might be described as in Arad. All states reachable from the initial state by any sequence of action. Together, the initial state, actions, and transition model implicitly define the state space of the problem. The set of all states reachable from the initial state by any sequence of action. The state space forms a directed network or graph in which the nodes are states and the link between nodes are actions. Possible action available to the agent at a state S action S returns the set of the action that can be executed in state S are called action space. Transition model. A description of what each action does. The formal name for this is the transition model, specified by a function result S2A that returns the state that result from doing action A in state S. We also use the term successor to refer to any state reachable from a given state by a single action. A path cost function that assigns a numeric cost to each path. The problem-solving agent chooses a cost function that reflects its own performance measure. For the agent trying to get to Bucharest, time is of the essence. So the cost of a path might be its length in kilometers. We assume that the cost of a path can be described as the sum of the cost of the individual actions along the path. The step cost of taking action A in state S to reach state S dash is denoted by C of SA to S dash. The step cost for Romania are shown in the figure. We assume that step costs are non-negative. A solution to a problem is an action sequence that leads from the initial state to the goal state. Solution quality is measured by the path cost function, and an optimal solution has the lowest path cost among all solutions. The goal of the 8-queen problem is to place 8 queens on a chessboard such that no queen attack any other. A queen attacks any piece in the same row, column, or diagonal. This figure shows an attempt solution that fails. The queen in the rightmost column is attacked by the queen at the top left. Although efficient special purpose algorithm exist for this problem and for the whole n-queen family, it remains a useful test problem for such algorithms. There are two main kinds of formulation. An incremental formulation involves operators that augment the state description, starting with an empty state for the 8-queen problem. This means that each action adds a queen to the state. A complete state formulation starts with all 8 queens on the board and moves them around. In either case, the path cost is of no interest because only the final state counts. The first incremental formulation one might try is the following. States: all arrangements of 0 to 8 queens on the board is a state. Then initial state: no queens on the board. Actions: add a queen to any empty square. Transition model returns the board with a queen added to the specified squares. Goal test: 8 queens are on the board, non-attacked. In this formulation, we have 1.8 into 10 raised to power 14 possible sequences to investigate. A better formulation would prohibit placing a queen in any square that is already attacked. All possible arrangements of n queens, that is 0 less than equal to n and n is less than equal to 8, one per column in the leftmost n columns with no queens attacking other. Actions: add a queen to any square in the leftmost empty column such that it is not attacked by any other queen. This formulation reduces the 8-queen state space from 1.8 into 10 raised to 14 to just 2057, and solutions are easy to find. On the other hand, for 100 queens, the reduction is from roughly 10 raised to power 400 states to about 10 raised to power 52 states. A big improvement, but not enough to make the problem tractable. The eighth puzzle, the eighth problem is an instance of which is shown in the diagram. It consists of a 3 by 3 board with 8 numbered tiles and a blank space. A tile adjacent to the blank space can slide into the space. The object is to reach a specified goal state such as the one shown on the right of the figure. The standard formulation is as follows. This is start state and goal state. States. A state description specifies the location of each of the 8 tiles and the blank in one of the 9 squares. Initial state. Any state can be designated as the initial state. Note that any given goal can be reached from exactly half of the possible initial states. Then actions. The simplest formulation defines action as movement of the blank space, that is left, right, up or down. Different subsets of these are possible depending on where the blank is. Then transition model. Given a state and action, this returns the resulting state. For example, if we apply left to the start state, the resulting state has the 5 and the blank switched. Goal test. This checks whether the state matches the goal configuration. This is the goal configuration shown in this figure. Then past cost. Each step costs 1, so the path cost is the number of steps in the path. What abstractions we have included here? The actions are abstracted to their beginning and final states, ignoring the intermediate location where the block is sliding. We have abstracted away actions such as shaking the board where pieces get stuck and ruled out extracting the pieces with the knife and putting them back again. We are left with a description of the rules of the puzzle, avoiding all the details of physical manipulation. The eighth puzzle belongs to the family of sliding block puzzles, which are often used as test problem for new search algorithms in artificial intelligence. This family is known to be NP complete, so one does not accept to find methods significantly better in the worst case than the search algorithms described. The 8 puzzle has 9 factorial divided by 2 is equal to 181 440 reachable states and is easily solved. The 15 puzzle on a 4 by 4 board has around 1.3 trillion states and random instances can be solved optimally in a few milliseconds by the best search algorithms. The 24 puzzle on a 5 by 5 board has around 10 raised to power 25 states, and random instances take several hours to solve it optimally. Real world examples. We have already seen how the route finding problem is defined in terms of specified locations and transitions along links between them. Route finding algorithms are used in a variety of applications, some such as websites and in-car systems that provide driving directions, are relatively straightforward extensions of Romania example. Others such as routing video streams in a computer network, military operations planning, and airline travel planning systems involve much more complex specifications. Consider the airline travel problem that must be solved by a travel planning website. Each state obviously includes a location, that is an airport, and the current time. Furthermore, because the cost of an action, a flight segment may depend on previous segments, their fare basis, and their status as domestic or international, the state must record extra information about these historical aspects. Initial state. This is specified by the user's query. Actions: take any flight from the current location in any seat class, leaving after the current time, leaving enough time for within airport transfer if needed. The transition model of this problem would be the state resulting from taking a flight will have a flight's destination as the current location and the flight's arrival time as the current time. The goal test: are we at the final destination specified by the user? Path cost. This depends on monetary cost, waiting time, flight time, customs and immigration procedures, seat quality, time of day, type of airplane, frequent flyer mileage awards, and so on. Then, traveling salesman problem is a touring problem in which each city must be visited exactly once. The aim is to find the shortest tour. The problem is known to be NP hard, but an enormous amount of effort has been expended to improve the capability of OTSP algorithms. In addition to planning trips for traveling salespersons, these algorithms have been used for tasks such as planning movements of automatic circuit boards, drills, and of stocking machines on shop floors. The traveling salesperson problem. Then we have VLS layout problem. This is also a real world problem. A VLSI layout problem requires positioning millions of components and connections on a chip to minimize area, minimize circuit delays, minimize stray capacitors, stray capacitance, and maximize manufacturing yield. The layout problem comes after the logical design phase and is usually split into two parts: cell layout and channel routing. In cell layout, The primitive components of the circuit are grouped into cells, each of which performs some recognized functions. Each cell has a fixed footprint, size, and shape, and requires a certain number of connections to each of the other cells. The aim is to place the cells on the chip so that they do not overlap and so that there is room for the connecting wires to be placed between the cells. Channel routing finds a specific route for each wire through the gaps between the cells. These such problems are extremely complex, but definitely worth solving. Later in this section, we present some algorithm capable of solving them. Next come robot navigation. This is also a real world example. Is a special generalization of route finding problem described earlier. Rather than following a discrete set of routes, a route can move in a continuous space with, in principle, an infinite set of possible action and states. For a circular robot moving on a flat surface, the space is essentially two-dimensional. When the robot has arms and legs or wheels that must also be controlled, the search space becomes many-dimensional. Advanced techniques are required just to make the search space finite. Automatic assembly sequencing. Automatic assembly sequencing of complex objects by a robot was first demonstrated by Faraday in 1972. Progress since then has been slow but sure, to the point where the assembly of intricate objects such as electric motors is economically feasible. In assembly problems, the aim is to find an order in which to assemble the parts of some object. If the wrong order is chosen, there will be no way to add some part later in the sequence without undoing some of the work already done. Checking a step in the sequence for feasibility is a difficult geometrical search problem closely related to robot navigation. Thus, the generation of legal actions is the expensive part of assembly sequencing. Any practical algorithm must avoid exploring all but a tiny fraction of the state space. Another important assembly problem is protein design, in which the goal is to find a sequence of amino acids that will fold into a three-dimensional protein with the right properties to cure some disease. State space is a physical configuration, whereas search space an abstract configuration represented by a search tree or a graph of possible solutions. What is search tree? The possible action sequence starting at the initial state from a search tree with the initial state at the root is called search tree. The branches are action and the nodes correspond to states in state space of the problem. In search tree, roots are initial states. A root node is a initial state, branches are the action. Nodes results from actions. A node has parent, children, depth, path, cost, associated state in the state space. Expand is a function that given a node creates all children nodes. In the search space is divided into three regions. First is explored, also known as closed list or visited set. and number 2 as known as open list, the fringe. The set of all leaf the set of all leaf nodes available for expansion at any given point is called the frontier. Some authors call it the open list. The process of expanding nodes on the frontier continues until either a solution is found or there are no more states to expand. The general tree search algorithm does this all to find the solution. Search algorithms all share this basic structure. They vary primarily according to how they choose which state to expand next. The so-called search strategy. The essence of search is moving nodes from region 3 to 2 to 1, and the essence of search strategy is deciding the order of such moves. In the following, we adopt the following color coding. Orange nodes are explored, gray nodes are the frontier, white nodes are the unexplored, and the black nodes are failures. This is a partial search tree for finding a route from Arad to Bucharest. Nodes that have been expanded are shaded. Nodes that have been generated but not yet expanded are outlined in bold. Nodes that have not yet been generated are shown in faint dashed lines. A strategy is defined by picking the order of node expansion. Strategies are evaluated along the following dimensions. This is the criteria that might be used to choose among different strategies to find a solution. We can evaluate an algorithm's performance in 4 ways. Number 1 is completeness. Is the algorithm guaranteed to find a solution where there is one? Number 2, time complexity. How long does it take to find a solution? Space complexity. How much memory is needed to perform the search optimally? Does the strategy find the optimal solution as we have discussed? Time and space complexity are always considered with respect to the some measure of problem difficulty. In theoretical computer science, a typical measure is the size of the state space graph. This is appropriate when the graph is an explicit data structure that is input to the search program. The map of Romania is an example of this. In AI, the graph is often represented implicitly by the initial state, actions, and transition model, and is frequently infinite. For these reasons, complexity is expressed in terms of 3 quantities: the branching factor, or maximum number of successors of any node; the depth of the depth of shallowest goal node, that is the number of steps along the path from the root; and m, the maximum length of any path in state space. Time is often measured in terms of the number of nodes generated during the search. and space in terms of the maximum number of nodes stored in memory. For the most part, we describe time and space complexity for search on a tree, for a graph. The answer depends on how redundant the paths in the state space are. To assess the effectiveness of a search algorithm, we can consider just the search cost, which typically depends on the time complexity but can also include a term for memory usage, or we can use the total cost, which combines the search cost and the path cost of the solution found. For the problem of finding a route from array, the search cost is the amount of time taken by the search and the solution cost is the total length of the path in kilometers. Thus, to complete the total cost, we have to add milliseconds and kilometers. There is no official exchange rate between the two, but it might be reasonable in this case to convert kilometers into milliseconds by using an estimate of the car's average speed, because time is what the agent cares about. This enables the agent to find an optimal trade-off point at which further computation to find a shorter path becomes counterproductive. Time and space complexity we have already discussed in terms of B is the maximum branching factor of the search tree and D is the depth of the solution, and where is M maximum depth of the state space, maybe infinity, and also sometimes capital D. We have two kind of search algorithms, uninformed and informed.